when I started my own race team. And then
And you kind
moved.
of started it out of necessity, right? You were renting
Yeah.
cars from teams before, and after the first race of that first season, I believe, the team went bankrupt. Is that right?
Yes, it was very stressful for all of us. I mean, like, I'm sure, as you know, in racing, it's most likely a driver renting a car from a team. And that's exactly what we were doing at the start. So we had rented a Honda Civic Si. I believe it was like a 2015 or 2016. Um, and yeah, after the first race at Circuit of the Americas, unfortunately, the team went into receivership. And then the way that the team tried to pay us back, since we had already paid for the entry fees and everything, was they gave us the race car. And my dad and I are just looking at each other like, what are we going to do with this race car? We don't have a team to support us. But luckily, we had another Canadian friend who was also competing in SRO that year, Nick Whitmer, and we ended up pairing up with him and his dad. And that's when the Samantha Tan racing team was born. And then it eventually evolved into us, hiring our own team members. And in 2017, purchasing those two BMW MT35IRs and competing in the TC class.
Now, most teenage girls, I'm guessing, don't spend majority of their time researching how to move up the ladder in racing. So, I mean, how did you find your groove and where you wanted to go and what you wanted to do? Was beyond your father? I mean, there must have been influences in here to say this is the pathway. I mean, if you want to get into motorsports, here's one way you can do it. Is that how that developed?
I mean, for me personally, my ultimate goal is to be in Le Mans, to be the first Asian woman to win Le Mans. And when I first started racing, I honestly didn't think about the whole gender aspect of it. I just knew that I wanted to be the fastest driver out there, right? And that was kind of what motivated me to, keep pushing harder and start moving up in the classes and et cetera, et cetera. But I didn't honestly start taking racing completely seriously until midway through my college career. I mean, I had such a lack of seat time and experience having to balance both school and racing. I couldn't give my full attention to racing. And so I was used to being in the mid to the back of the pack.